I couldn't have been happier after I'd become a famous chef at the burger joint. But, things happen. Not everything goes how you always want it to go. One day, I step into my work, my job. I go up to my burger flipping area. I'm flipping the burgers as usual, and then I notice that my triangle hand scratches against the side of the oven. Well, that shouldn't normally be a problem, but it sends sparks flying. And sparks went on my burger. My burger got set on fire. What's going on? I thought to myself. Why is this happening to me? Not now. Not after I got my triangle hands fixed. Not after everything's rolling for me. So I have this flaming burger in my hands. What do I do? The restaurant's not up to regulations. There's no fire extinguisher anywhere. What do I do? Do I douse the flames with my spit? Do I throw it in the sink? There's no sink in here. What am I supposed to do? I take one of my hands and I start smacking the burger with it. And all that happens is the burger flies out of my hands, hits the wall of the building. Building catches on fire. The whole place is just erupts in flames. I ditch. I run as fast as I can outside the building. How am I supposed to counteract that? I just have triangle hands. I don't have hose hands. I don't have bucket hands. I can't get water with my hands, dude. So I'm outside the building now. The place is on fire. My boss is dead. And, the only option here is to lead a life of crime. I must become Carson Arson. I flee the scene of the crime as quickly as I can. I see cops. I run past the cops, but before I do, I take another spark and I spark the I spark their tire, and the police car erupts. I suddenly realize I have superpowers. I can do anything I want. I fled the scene of the crime even more than I fled before. I fled so fast I couldn't even be seen. That's how fast I was going. I made sure that I got out of sight of all the cops, and I took a sit. I sat down, and I thought to myself, what now? What next? What do I need to do? Well, I thought to myself, the only thing I can do is lead a life of crime. I've already committed too many crimes. I've set cops on fire. I've set my boss on fire. I've set, for crying out loud, a building on fire. I quickly hopped on my phone and looked up how to be a criminal. and with that guide, I decided, well, this is how I'll mastermind my crimes. Here we go. I took off on my mission to go set fire to all of the buildings in the world. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw them, the buildings. And I took my arms, I took my hands, and I started just chopping sparks up at every building. Everything in sight was on fire. It was a beautiful day, and they started calling me the incinerator in the news when they started seeing all the buildings on fire. You could walk around and you could see on the television the incinerator setting stuff on fire, because they didn't know my name yet. They didn't know, oh, his name's Carson, we should call him Carson Arson. So it wasn't really a nickname thing going on yet, so they just called me the Incinerator, and I really didn't like the name, but that's beside the point. Anyways, the whole city's on fire. It's burning up in there, and I'm like, well, I thought my life would go a better route, but you know what? This is a really pretty sight, and I can't get enough of this flame. But that's when I thought to myself, what damage am I causing? Who could be getting hurt by this terrible incident? What have I done? I look up, and I see at the very top of a building a man. I couldn't make out his image. I see him about to jump off from the building, and I say, wait, don't jump off from the building. That's a bad idea. You could die if you jump off the building. And I rush up through the fire and the flames, and I get up to the top of the building, and I stop him. I say, wait, this isn't what you have to do. You have so much to live for. And he says, no, I don't. And I say, hey, the same here, dude. And I coax him off the side of the building, and I get him down through the fire and the flames. And we get down to the ground below, and I look at him, and he looks at me, and I say, wow, you have the most beautiful eyes. And he says, wow, so do you. And your hands, they're quite appealing as well. And I realize this is the perfect version of me. He looks exactly like me, but he doesn't have my triangle hands. And I look at him, and I think to myself, how could I ever find anyone more perfect to share my life with? And with a giant city on fire behind me, I lean over and I kiss him. The kiss was filled with bliss, and it was the most beautiful moment of my life. I leaned back from the kiss, and I asked him a very important question. Does this make me a flaming homosexual? And then the cops showed up, and they arrested me, and I got sent to jail.